So tell me what brands can do to really delight their customers.
It's interesting. Everyone asks that question, and it's kind of like saying, tell me whether I like orange or the number 4. The best thing that brands can do to delight their customers is truly understand their customers, know their customers. Understand that every customer is different. There's no same situation.
So how do they get to know them?
So back in the 50s, we got our news in 2 ways: from a newspaper in the morning and the nightly news in the evening. And the average age of the nightly news viewer in 1955, I think, was 31 years old. And everyone watched the nightly news. Today, that average age is like dead. No one watches the nightly news. And we have so many different choices to how we like to get our news: TV, radio, print, online, whatever the case may be. I listen to podcasts as I'm running in Central Park in the morning, lumbering Central Park anyway. But so that's how I get my info. And so the best thing we could possibly do, we come in, we have an audience, whether it's 100 people or 1 million people. We have an audience that we have no idea how they like to get their information because we don't bother asking them. The easiest thing in the world to do is reach out to them. And when I ran Harrow, every month I'd send out a 1-question survey, just asking questions, and I'd learn about my audience. And when I answered the question and they felt involved, they felt invested in the company. They felt like they had a role in what we were doing. And there's no greater employee and no greater customer than someone who feels invested. Having an audience, it's a privilege. It's not a right. It's exactly like wearing spandex. No one has the right to, there are very few people you have the right to wear spandex. I don't have the right to wear it. I can wear it during a race, but then as soon as the race is over, they make me switch back into a t-shirt. But, you have to understand that it's the same thing with an audience. It's a privilege to have an audience. And all you have the right to do is try and create great content and create great stuff and create reasons for your audience to stay. You don't have a right to that audience.
I think you're spot on. And I think there's probably a misconception, misunderstanding that if we have an audience, that we own that audience, and we don't, right? Like
we're not even renting that audience.
That audience goes.
We're getting like a viewing of that audience for as long as we produce good stuff. And the second we don't produce that good stuff, they're out of here because it's never been easier to switch. In the 50s, if you wanted to change banks, it took 3 weeks, and not only take 3 weeks, but you had to visit like 5 times. If you were a guy, if you were the wife, forget it. You had to bring your husband in. Right?
Yeah.
Today, on like TD Bank's website, there's a big button that says "Switch to us," and 3 clicks, you've moved your entire family fortune from one bank to another. There is no loyalty anymore. The loyalty is built and garnered by creating great stuff. Other than that, it doesn't exist.